Hi guys, so we've just collected just the 2 boxes today of koi direct from Japan. So there's no middleman with this interfering with the bags or doing anything. You know, we're the first guys to open the bags after they've left Japan. So they've arrived good on time. Excuse me. We're now on our way back. We've got the vats ready, and we'll have a look how they've travelled. Fish generally surprisingly or amazingly, they travel very well. I don't want to tempt fate, but not really had any major issue with any imports. So hopefully this will be uneventful as well. But it'd be nice to see what quality we've got, what variety we've got. I've got it all on record, but it's there's that many fish knocking about. I forget what I've ordered, when I've ordered it. So it's like Christmas, opening these boxes sometimes. Let's just hope it's something we wanted and it's not a disappointment. See you soon. Okay, so just the 2 boxes, and I've switched the pump off on here just so you can hear me. I've actually bought some microphones, but I need to get those charged up and whatever. So yeah, quarantine 1, quarantine 2, all ready to go. This is already salted. Should I put some in here or not? No, this hasn't been salted yet. So I have to do this steady. But what we'll do is get these guys open first. So these are the top ones are from Tanaka. Pronounced all different ways, I've heard it. Tanaka, Tanaka. I have had from this far before. Also good to document the opening just in case things don't look too great. Right, so we'll lift these out and get them floating on the water. Got those floating, we'll have a look in a sec. These are from one of my favourite breeders, and we're talking value for money. Yamasan. They cost significantly less than some breeders. Don't get me wrong, there are cheaper breeders, but not that offer this kind of variety and quality. So yeah, we'll get these guys floating as well, and then we're going to have a look at them. So regards to the floating process, some people will say, well, you've got to leave them half an hour, or what, you know, they'll give you a time. I'm led by the fish. So if there's a number of fish, or any fish really, clearly in heavy distress, then I won't be floating them for a crazy amount of time. Because that water there is going to be incredibly high ammonia wise, which is going to be toxic. So it's about balancing out the risks. And it's alright acclimatising for half an hour if you end up with you know, fish that don't make it through. So the process I make, so get a bowl, put probably about 15 litres of the vat water in. If these look okay, I'll generally float them for just 10 to 15 minutes, that's all. It's never caused me any problems in the past. As I said, if there's something clearly stressed, they'll be open straight away. And what we're going to do is empty these along with their toxic water into this bowl, just to take away that initial shock. And then once they're in there, literally a couple of minutes, and then we'll sort them out, get them into their quarantine back, and quarantine starts officially. So when we go in, when I first start quarantine, flip round. So when we first start quarantine, I always start at ambient. Obviously these guys come in at ambient. We'll talk through the heat ramping process, which is about stressing the fish. But the initial introduction needs to be, in my opinion, as stress-free as possible. Now is not the time to start stressing them up again. So yeah, I generally leave them in for about 5 days at ambient, and then we start with the heat ramping process. We've got these guys as well. These are a fraction smaller. But again, can't see anything that's upset. The Yamasan ones. Yeah. Nothing struggling in there. You can see the bodies on some of these are quite thin, but they'll have been starved for a period. Because if you don't starve them, then they just wouldn't make the journey, because this water would be just, well, it would be toxic now, but it would be off the scale. So they'll have gone through a period of fasting. So again, some people say don't feed for 48 hours. You know, I've tried different ways, and the way that works for me, introduce, and then I just come in next morning and offer them a little bit of food. So I've just bought myself a gimbal. So hopefully on the next video, we're not going to be shaking about. I say hopefully, because I've just got to read the instructions. Getting to that age now where I have to read instructions. Okay, so we'll flip you around. We've undone the 2 bags, and now we're going to introduce them into the bowl, as I mentioned a minute or so ago. Okay, so the moment of truth. Yeah, I can smell the ammonia. There's no caught up in the corners. Double check on the bag. All good. And those bags will be destroyed now. Right, let's see what we've got. So yeah, obviously these bodies need some serious filling out. Like I explained earlier, they'll have been fasting for, I don't really know how long they do it, to be honest. So yeah, a nice mix. Just looking at what the important health aspects first. I've got a bit of a thing about split fins, but that's actually not a big deal at the minute, because during the heating process with the salts, these guys will they'll be fully repaired by the time they're available for sale. So it'd be good to look back on this, so might do a before and after, because you'll see such a significant difference in the koi from now, at their worst if you like, to when they've come through quarantine. There'll be no split fins, they'll have good body, they'll have grown, coloration should evolve. So yeah, nice little mix. You know, they're not, these are just a standard mix, but yeah, a standard mix. They're for the casual hobbyist. There's the odd really nice one in there. Nice Boschke down there, and Yoda's got his eye on them. So yeah, we'll get these guys in there. That's where the oxygen is, and that's what they're after now. And these are the other guys that have just gone in. On average, these are a bit smaller, but nice mix again. As I say, just standard koi, but even in these standard mixers, you always get something that's a little bit different or that stands out. And the one that's caught my eye is, it's that little guy there. I need to have a closer look to work out exactly what he is. It's like an Asagi, Yoshiki, don't know what he is really. It's pretty neat, to be honest. But my fair selection here at Surrey, which is good because there's not been many about this year. But other than the usual split fins that we get when making a long journey, yeah, they're all in good order. Obviously, as I said, need to pack some weight on. But yeah, a few weeks time they'll look completely different. So that's it, guys. That's the process. In my wisdom, I knock the food tub over. Luckily, there's only about a dozen pieces on it. Again, that's kind of the worst thing you generally see on an import is the splits. If there's anything really worrying, standing out straight away. So yeah, apart from the obligatory split fins, there's nothing there that's of obvious concern. Obviously, they still go through the quarantine process to bring anything up, stop it making its way into your pond. But yeah, if there was anything at this stage, this early stage, that was like in a real bad way, then it'd be removed from this. It wouldn't even stay in with these guys. That would be in a separate quarantine and dealt with accordingly. When I say that doesn't necessarily mean euthanizing. That'd be the absolute last resort, unless it was in pain or irreparable, or couldn't be put back with the stock. Otherwise, it'd go through whatever treatment it needed: acroflavin, heavier salt, straight on heat, whatever it needed. Unfortunately, there's nothing in this vat or the other vat that needs that. So that's a good start.